Oh boy, hello everyone, it's me, Congested Emmerron. We are back from GenCon. I have Concrud, and we talked quite a bit about it at the start of Diamond's half the episode today, but she rolled successes on her death save. Praise be.
I'm a little high, and I'm about to take my medication. And when I mean high, I'm high on some other painkillers because I'm glad they gave me these, but it's like, ooh.
She's a whole organ. She's a whole organ lighter than she was. If you want details on what the hell happened there, go to her half the episode. It's going to be linked down below. But everybody, we're here to talk about Gen Con, and we kind of wrapped up Diamond's half the episode talking about all the cyberpunk announcements that we got this year. So the announcements that I have to cover on my half of the episode are going to be somewhat briefer. They're going to be pretty small by comparison. However, I'm just double checking that there's nothing else that I have, not currently. Okay, so I suppose to pick back up where we left off. So we're going to talk about some Shadow Scar stuff that were announced. So for Shadow Scar, we have the core rulebook coming out very soon, it seems. They are doing, and some of you are going to find this one very interesting. I know I did when I first heard about this. They are going to be doing Kickstarter for it. And they assured us pretty repeatedly when we asked them about it at the convention, or when I asked them, that no, they've got it sounds like they got the funding to do this book, but this is going to help them to ensure as high quality of a product as possible, and it's going to give people an option to kind of pre-purchase the book through Kickstarter's infrastructure. So
I think also on top of that, like when I was talking with Cody, it's going to really help with make sure they have enough cash to get the prints done, and they can get like that really good print that they normally do, which I'm looking forward to it, and I'm willing to back that.
We are getting a version of this book no matter what. But obviously between the tariffs that we are seeing kind of rattle the entire tabletop industry right now, and the fact that costs have been fluctuating up and down for production over the last year or so here, and there have been some other things like with Green Ronin that don't affect R Tal but have been similarly impactful to the tabletop industry. There's been a lot of uncertainty that's kind of been inserted into the equation here. So this is going to help insulate against a portion of that. So
personally, I hope Cody deserves to have a good send off on his first book. So
he deserves to have a good launch. Send off is the wrong word. Launch is definitely
right.
The word.
Launch. Yep.
So send off makes it sound like he's leaving. He's not.
No.
So for those of you who are watching this live, and I'll see if I can get this into the show notes or the description on YouTube. But we have a link here to the announcement that I've just put into chat on Twitch that will link you back to the page where they announced all this. I'm setting that only because they have a little link there where you can sign up with an email to get updates on the Kickstarter. So when that goes live, that'll be the people who are on that list will be the first ones to know. So
also, the cover art, it's on the page. It looks really, really fucking sick.
Yeah, the cover art looks really, really
yeah.
good. So the next thing that they also announced for Shadow Scar coming is the storyteller screen. This should be like a GM screen. It's going to have all the tables, reference materials you could want, as well as images of the 4 worlds of Shadow Scar. So I'm anticipating that much like the Cyberpunk screen, this is going to be a 4-panel screen with one of each of the worlds on a separate panel. kind of
And
judging
I think
by the way they're
Witcher
saying
is
that.
also a 4-panel screen as well, so that would seem to check out.
Yeah. So that's very exciting. They also released the August DLC, Welcome to Selene. It seems that we're now in full swing, where Cyberpunk is not the only thing issuing a monthly DLC. Shadowscar is now also doing a monthly DLC. And it sounds like the plan, as I understand it now, is for them to push Shadowscars at the top of the month and Cyberpunk's near the end of the month, with just a couple of exceptions probably to that, like for April Fools and similar. We also know that we have something coming called Shadowscar Secrets of the Mosaic. So the next big step is Secrets of the Mosaic, which is a compendium of player options and information drawn from the four worlds of Shadowscar, including new weapons and tools, new techniques and Mikio, new entries to the bestiary, and information on world fragments, which I'll be very interested to see what they mean by world fragments. So yeah, Shadowscar is getting to be very cool. It was already cool. It's looking even better now.
I can't wait to get my hands on the core rule book. Like I am itching to play like some full Shadowscar. And also
it's a
like
fun game.
Looking at the Selene Colony DLC, the fact that we're getting really nice details like this, like, goddamn, I love that.
Yeah, it's very cool. Well, and I think every one of the DLCs so far, with the exception of maybe the first one, are using new artwork. So like Selene in particular has a lot of new artwork. So it's very cool.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So next up, we have announcements for The Witcher, and the production house within R Talsorian, formerly known as 5 by Infinity. They have now rebranded it to Talsorian Presents. And we'll talk about that in a moment. So the last batch of announcements here that they announced during GenCon is that first and foremost, for the Witcher TRPG, we have two products coming. First, we have The Witcher Untold Tales, which is a book full of adventures from across the continent that spotlight the lives and jobs of the physicians, soldiers, thieves, and merchants that apply their trade in the cities and wilderness of the continent. So this is going to focus a little more on, I suppose, what you would consider for the system, the non-combat or less combat-oriented classes. Mm-hmm. Soldiers are not necessarily that, but yeah. Thieves, merchants, physicians, they generally try to stick to their own thing. And then we are also getting a trauma deck for The Witcher. For those of you who have been plugged into Cyberpunk, we recently got a trauma deck for Cyberpunk Red. It sounds like they're looking to do something very similar for The Witcher. And it'll reference cards. It'll be a set of reference cards that detail the effects and difficulties of all critical wounds in The Witcher TRPG. If you're curious about how this tool will be, take a look at our Cyberpunk Red trauma deck, available as POD on DriveThruRPG. So yeah, we've got trauma decks already exist as print on demand, and that is going to be very, very similar. So the next thing that we have coming along is Talsorian Presents. So this is the production house that was formerly known as 5 by Infinity. They have changed the title of the line to fit what they've got in mind. Talsorian Presents will allow them to release the ideas that they've always had boiling and more. There's already more than one title cooking in the line, and a secret one that we'll be able to share soon. So that is not, for reference, Fossilized Violence, because obviously we already know about that coming. Those of you who have met up with us at conventions the last year and a half or so will have been able to play it in one form or another. I think we're nearing release of that here, judging by the fact that that is the next bullet point here, which is a Q1 2026 release is now on our sites. After a couple of delays, we'll be sharing more and more as the year ticks on. Keep an eye on socials as we aim to let you peek within the pages and glimpse the world of Pangeon. So yeah, and then they've got the artwork of the... Well, they've got the artwork of the world map for Pangeon on the page for this as well. So very exciting stuff. I'm personally looking forward to Fossilized Violence quite a bit after having been able to run it and play it at the last couple of Gen Cons. One of the Gen Con activities that Diamond did not miss was we had James Hutt run a game of Fossilized Violence for us after the con closed on Sunday for the last of us that were kind of hanging around. And we got to beat up a Stegosaurus. It was very fun.
Also on top of that, I suppose some other exciting things, which involves James Hutt, that we got to do on our first night.
That's true. Yeah.
When we all got there before convention started. You should go sign up for James Hutt's newsletter over at jameshuttgames.com.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna just double check that right now. James,
because we got to play Beetle World.
We did.
And Beetle World is a lot of fun. It is a really the way it all plays. It's super fast paced, and like the pace is like really good on how it plays. And I don't know what exact itch Beetle World scratches for me, but it does something for me.
Yeah. It's like if you've ever wanted to play a full TTRPG with nothing more than a slightly depleted Uno deck and 3 dice, you will have a fun time with Beetle World. It's honestly so much fun. Because you basically just need a, what is it, a D6, D8, or was it a D6 or a D8 as the smallest die?
We were playing with a D8,
D10,
D12.
D12, yeah, that's what it is.
We got away from the D20 because D20
right.
bad.
Because we tried a version of this game last year at PAX, and that was very different.
It was very challenging.
Yeah.
But when I was talking with James, and I hope to talk to James a little bit more about Beetle World soon. It sounds like the enemies were just a little too accurate.
They were a little bit spicy, and he nerfed one of them in real. He nerfed one of them in real time because it was just mean, where it would just come in and be like, "All right, so I'm about to like smack you twice with a skill that sets up the other one," and it was kind of frustrating because it's like we couldn't get through the encounter. But he admitted he was scaling it to be as deadly as possible for testing purposes. But it was good. It was fun. I still enjoy the game. I'm going to be really curious to see if he's updated it for PAX U when we see him next. Because last year he had a copy of it with him so that he could show us what that was all about. And then Fluffy has come to harass me, so do not mind her. She is here to be held hostage, honestly. The cats are still getting used to both my wife and I being home, because for a while there we've been gone for like a week and a half.
We're not that scary.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they just miss us. Yeah. Whenever we leave, they miss us. So they're like, "Oh my God, they're home," and then they stick to us like glue for like the following week. We're still in the middle of that stick to glue phase.
But I'm trying to think, like, what other stuff did we happen to see? Also, we had discovered duck is delicious. That is something else that my first meal I wanted to have a meal with friends coming out of the hospital, and we went to apparently the hotel we were in has like a rotating like restaurant up top, and it's like one that I wouldn't normally go to, but it just happened to be open, and I had roast duck. It was very delicious.
It was very tasty.
So all right, so What else did you see at Gen Con while I was laid up in the hospital, Emmerron?
So I had an interesting Gen Con. So for those of you who don't know what I was up to, I was responsible for kind of keeping things running for the R Talsorian game rooms. So we had two. So those of you who weren't there, we had one in the Hyatt Regency, which is where most of the game runners were staying. And then we had a space within the Gen Con demo hall off of Hall D that we were running three, let me think, what was it? We had 3 Cyberpunk Red tables, 2 Cyberpunk Edge Runner Mission Kit tables, and we had 3 Shadow Scar tables and 1 Fossilized Violence table. Each of those tables was worth 6 people, or could hold up to 6 people rather, and all were staffed for the most part the entirety of the morning and evening until like 10 p.m. The only exception to that is that one of the CEMK tables got swapped to be a Cyberpunk Legends table in the evenings. And that is a game that is being produced by a different group in collaboration with, I believe it's CDPR as well, as R Talsorian Games. But it's going to be a CCG that's coming out soon. And I'll see if, because I didn't look into it quite as much. I really wanted to get into a demo, and I just didn't get the time to.
I got a contact with them, so
yeah. We'll have to see if we can get a demo kit or something like that, because I would love to try that out. But yeah, so I spent most of my time running around collecting event tickets, since all of our events are physically ticketed this year. And that was just a lot of my time and my energy throughout most of the convention. The things I did get to see, I did get a chance to play in a game of the Alien TRPG that was using the kind of like the beta rules for 2nd edition. And that was pretty fun. I got to play as a scientist on board a vessel known as the Ponce de Leon, and we were scrambled last second to assist with another ship known as the Peerless, because they were giving off a distress beacon. And so, yeah, Wayland Yutani, the glorious corporation that absolutely never puts you into a bad position, sent us to assist. And of course, their ship had all kinds of fucking things wrong with it. It was not great, but we all survived, shockingly. The only one to take damage in our crew the whole time was the scientific assistant that I had, who was, he had his arm ripped off. That's the only damage any of us sustained, and it was in the final battle of that. So a lot of fun for that one. And then me, Phantom, and Erica went out, and we, it was actually right before Phantom and I came up to see you. They had these bike rides through downtown Indianapolis on the back of one of those, like the pedal, I think they call them pedal bars, which is literally like, you know, big bike with like, you know, it's a big bike that is just a bar, a street bar basically. And several of the people on the bar stools help to pedal it. Some of you may not have seen them before. I know we have them here in the Phoenix area. But they're a lot of fun. And this was my first time ever doing one. And so by the time that was over, because that lasted for about 2.5 hours, by the time that was over, we were all pretty tipsy. And so by the time Phantom and I came to see Diamond in the hospital, thankfully some of that was wearing off. But yeah, getting there even, I felt like we were still both a little bit drunk. It was an evening. But yeah, I got to meet a lot of cool new people. Got to hang out with the RTAL crew a little bit, beyond just those couple nights with James. Got to see Jay Gray, got to see Rob Barefoot, got to hang out a little bit with Cody and Dolan. Didn't get nearly as much time as I wanted to talk with Lisa or Mike, but Lisa was sick by the second day of the con, and by the end of it all, Mike came down with COVID. So yeah, it wasn't great. By the end of it all, there were definitely some people who got sick. So me having Concord right now does not shock me. As far as I know, I don't have COVID. I tested and I don't appear to be positive for it. So who knows? But bottom line here is that, yeah, there was, it would, GenCon is a big con. It's like 75,000 people that go every year. And this one was sold out from the jump. Like, there were no tickets left available when the con started. So you either had your badge or you didn't. So from the word go, we were always going to have some people get sick at the end of this, I feel like. Just because it seems to happen every year, and it's too big a con for that not to really happen. But yeah, beyond that, got to explore the con plenty. And so I suppose this is kind of where we segue into what we picked up. For my part, the bigger version of this is behind me, but it's kind of partly unboxed, so I don't really want to fuck with it right now. So there's this company called the Story Engine. So this is their storyteller deck. This is the free one that they gave away for Free RPG Day back in, I believe this was for 2024. Yeah, this is 2024's. And then they had a second one of these, but I'm glancing around my desk real quick to see if I have it readily accessible. Probably don't.
Are you talking about the World one?
The World one, yeah.
It's over on the stack of books behind your cutout here.
Then I'm not gonna worry too much about it then, because I got the big version of that, and I actually can probably pick that up here now that I think about it. Ooh, here we go. So the Deck of Worlds. So I got it. There was a mini version of this that got distributed for this year's Free RPG Day, and effectively what this is a world building tool. This is more for like fantasy games than it is for Cyberpunk, but they said they do have expansions to allow you to do it for things like Cyberpunk or sci-fi settings. I wanted this mostly for Daggerheart and Fabula Ultima, which is why I picked it up. And it's very cool. I've already got my next locale figured out for Fabula because I drew this last night. So it's kind of like a tarot spread. Essentially, you start by pulling a location. So in this case, it was a jungle. You then pull a location card. Our landmark card rather. So there's either a spire or a village. I selected a spire on my spread. Then from that, you get a namesake card. I've named it the Spire That Will Never Die, which based on my setting right now is a little bit ironic. This is the origin card. So this is the site of an epic betrayal. My players will figure out what that is very soon. And then the last thing here is that it has a distinctive regional crop. So this is an attribute card. So you give some kind of thing to like, okay, what is the Spire That Will Never Die known for? And I've decided it is a distinctive regional crop. And then finally, you have something called an advent card. And this is like what determines the near future holds for the zone. And I've selected a local hero is turning out not to be who they claimed. They exaggerated their deeds, have an objectionable private life, or are an imposter. No, that's not the one I selected. I just had it upside down. I selected the climate is changing, which is rapidly and destructively. So it's either heating up, cooling down, or changing weather patterns. For my players who play in that game, if any of you are watching, we'll talk about this next week, probably when I'm feeling a little better, because normally I run that game right after this show is done, and I am still not feeling great. But yeah, so effectively you can do all of that, and it gives you like a pretty nice little micro region, and you got all the stuff in the box to grow it beyond that region. So you can like build multiple regions together and basically just build your whole world this way. Or you could even do this collaboratively with your table, or you just keep drawing cards out and then define the world together that way. So for games like Fabula and I was going to say Shadowverse, which is a TCG I've been playing a ton lately. For Daggerheart and for Fabula, both of which are games that don't have a defined world like Cyberpunk does, this is an awesome tool. I'm like really excited about this.
Probably even work for Shadow Scar, like other dimensions you might jump into.
Yeah. Like if you're random hopping a dimension, this could absolutely work for something like that. Could be really, really cool. So with that in mind, that was like thing one that I pulled. Thing two was I got some shiny new dice that I don't have right next to me here. But they cost me $85. They're from Norse Foundry. They're very, very pretty. I bought my wife, because she's a massive Fruits Basket fan. They were selling the company is called Japanime Games, and they were selling a tile game based on Fruits Basket. And so I made sure to pick up because they had 2 starter sets with half the Zodiac each in it. For those of you familiar with Fruits Basket as things to do with the Chinese Zodiac. So I made sure that the half I picked up had her favorite character in it, as a gift to bring home to her, because it looks like a fun little 2-person game. And then finally, the last item I bought happens to be an item that Diamond also got, because I bought ours at the same time. We got the last 2, as far as I'm aware, the last 2 normal briefcase collections of Triangle Agency, which coincidentally won 3 Ennies this year. Diamond pointed out the irony of that to me, and I'm like, that is beautiful, actually. That a game called Triangle Agency that places a heavy emphasis on 3s won 3 Ennies. So yeah, Triangle Agency is a game that we will probably play at some point very soon and talk a lot about, because it's one that we've had our eyes on, both of us, since PAX U last year. And we just now finally got a chance to pick it up and start reading through the rule book, and it looks very exciting.
And also, again, like after like looking at Triangle Agency, because that was like one of the big ones I was hoping to get my hands on and get a chance to talk to Caleb Hewitt, who is the what I remember when we met Caleb, like how enthusiastic he was about his game versus trying to make sense. Like that spoke volumes about like, there's definitely the good stuff in this game.
Well, and he was paging through the book too, and the artwork and the writing were both exceptionally gorgeous. Good. They're both exceptionally good. Basically, the best way I can sum up Triangle Agency for those of you who've never seen it before, it is this beautiful mix of Control or SCP with like the Stanley Parable. That's probably the best way I can put it together. It's very satirical of like corporate culture in the way that Stanley Parable is, but it is like there's some genuinely dangerous stuff that you confront in the game.
It feels like I think I've also seen it. It's just like corporate cyberpunk meets Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad one either.
You are dealing with a lot of eldritch horrors, but don't worry, at least your coffee cup's full. Which actually, it turns out Triangle Agency has a 3-set of stackable Triangle Agency mugs, which I am very interested in at some point. But also in there's awesome dice, some certain dice that we can't talk about because it's like it will ruin the surprise for players. But the game runs on all D4s. Do not lose those D4s. The company would be very mad if you lost your D4s for the role-playing initiative, and so would your feet. But I did reach out to Caleb and his crew, which their company is called Haunted Table. Again, congratulations on your Ennies. I hope to have you on the show soon. And I hope we get to play Triangle Agency soon, because it turns out Valkyrie and I's girlfriend actually played with Caleb at some point while he was doing the Kickstarter. So that's kind of fucking neat. Let's see, other stuff that any other stuff that you found? Because you got those dice from Q Workshop as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. I need to figure out where I packed those away because I know I have them, but
those got put in your check bag, I think.
Then
your check or like your carry-on.
They'll be behind me then. Hold on a sec, chat. Let me see if I can dig through while Diamond talks about what else she has acquired through the convention.
Yeah, we'll get there because I'm a big fan of Q Workshop dice, but I stopped by independent. I stopped by, I think it's Independent Press.
Indie Press Revolution.
Oh, Indie Press. Okay, yeah. I stopped by Indie Press Revolution's table to pick up a couple of games that, I was looking for, but I didn't know if I would see them there or not. Now, Indie Press Revolution, they are a publisher that will put games out there that, if they didn't have like anything else, it probably would not have much of a leg to stand on, just because of how the corporate market is about all this. And it makes me feel bad because there are really, really good games that do not get enough recognition. And a couple of them I picked up. One of them was because of the Devil's Cut from Tales of the Red Hope Reborn. I was told I need to pick up Blades in the Dark, which is a heist game. Which I am absolutely excited about, and I've only read the cover. I have yet to open this because I have just finished reading Triangle Agency.
You should have talked to me before you dove in because I have a copy. I have a copy, and I have its Sci-Fi Companion Scum and Villainy that I'm still trying to read through.
I do like having my own copy as well.
Oh, that's fair. So I found the dice, by the way. Yeah, so
awesome.
Diamond was nice enough to buy all of us who were in the room, basically, some Q Workshop dice. Some of us got Cyberpunk ones. I already have pretty much all the sets of Cyberpunk die that I want, but they just released these fancy new Shadowscar ones. So they're in 2 colorways right now, I think. We've got this like teal on darker blue, like I've got here, like teal on navy. And then there's a like blue on translucent.
Blue on gray.
Yeah, it's like blue on like translucent gray. That they're selling as well, and they come in both D6 sets and a full polyhedral.
Yeah, so
they're very nice. Yeah, I need to rip these open. Actually, I'll do that live.
Oh,
time to tear into the box here.
This is so exciting to look at. One of the other games that I got, because I was told I absolutely, as a queer, should look at getting this one. Thirsty Sword Lesbians, also from Evil Hat Productions, much like Blades in the Dark, which I will look into it. It talks a lot about interpersonal relationship.
Ooh.
And I'm always all about that kind of stuff at my table. And looking at like dealing with emotional conflict of player characters. That being said, we'll look more into it. I'm probably going to talk to Aaron of Enchanted Sorcery Productions as well, because we're going to be working on some stuff in the future. I'm going to be running Cyberpunk for them here soon, but I need some help with digging into some of this stuff. But what we got going on with your dice, Emmerron?
So these are not solid. They are also translucent. But it's like a really mildly translucent blue.
Oh, it's like really like a dark sapphire blue.
Yeah. No, but they're like
beautiful.
very, very lightly translucent. That's very, very cool. So yeah, so this is the D6 set. So the camera can see them a little bit closer. They're very pretty. The numbers on these are obviously much easier to read than the
pips.
Than the pips on the green dice. Kind of, I know I don't mind them. Like I've done fine reading the pip dice that came with the game, but and then the high faces are these little Shinto gates, or Torii gates rather.
Yeah, they got. And guess what? It also has a blue moon on it.
It does have a blue moon. Yeah, and then for those of you who want a closer look, these are the polyhedrals. Yeah, there's one of everything, just like you get in your standard 7-die polyhedral set.
Which I have like Cyberpunk Red's essential and polyhedral dice from last year and or from last PAX, and then I've got, of course, my essentials for Shadow Scar, which I really want to get a game of Shadow Scar going, like run some friends through the box campaign, because I ran a few close friends through it, but I want to do it again with some others.
I'm really eager for them to get a solid VTT solution for the game, because once they have a solid Shadow Scar VTT, I'm gonna run the crap out of it. Because that's the only thing holding me back right now is our local group is so short on time that like we rarely get the chance to play, and therefore we never get time to like try new games.
Beyond Inferno, but it suddenly is Shadow Scar.
Don't tempt me.
You guys get sucked through the warp.
But yeah, and then there's your polyhedrals up close, so that everyone can kind of see what those look like. If my camera would kindly focus. There we go.
Also, some point down the road, I'm going to be looking at some other dice from Q to review as well, because I gave them a card and they're just like, here, have a look, and we'll work something out. I'm like,
they've got some really nice dice.
And
if you see them at a convention, they've got stuff like these. The resin die, like what I've just kind of picked up here, are very good. Like they're very nice dice. But the even nicer ones, they've got like some like hybrid alloy dice that are much pricier for like The Witcher and stuff like that are very, very pretty.
And then finally, I was meaning to buy this instead of what ended up happening here. I was able to make it to Monster Fight Club's booth to go pay them a visit. Unfortunately, I missed a couple of my friends from Monster Fight Club. I hope to see you at PAX. If not, I will definitely see you at GenCon. I want to play a game of. I do want to play a skirmish with you, Alex. But one of the new ones that had come, one of the new factions that had come out, is 6th Street, which I was really excited for, because I mean, they're kind of a bit of a rough and tough gang by the time the 2070s come around. But who they are in the 2040s, the civilians, taking over where the cops won't do it. I'm super excited about 6th Street. And I got a they ended up giving me a whole starter pack that's supposed to be like what, $50?
I think it was 50, is what they were saying.
It was like 50 some change.
They straight up were like, "Oh, you do reviews here. Like, just don't worry about it."
Yeah,
very, very kind.
Like, I was just I was gonna pick it up, but we've got a whole set now, and it's got and in here it comes with 6 miniatures, 13 character cards, 21 objective cards, 1 universal gear rule card, 34 universal gear cards, and 40 loot deck cards. So this is a very card heavy group.
Yeah.
Because way these miniature battles work, which Emmerron and I are going to sit down, and I'm going to finally get to break open my set of Monster Fight Club, and we'll do that for a Wireheads episode, playing playing a skirmish.
Yep.
So I just need a lot of super glue, though.
I mean, what you probably need is they sell special model glue. That you probably really do need.
It sounds like a little trip over to a certain gaming shop that happens to be nearby, but
we've got a couple too that would service that need, but there's one in particular I know that you're talking about.
Other than that, trying to think some other stuff that I ended up finding at con. I think think I've covered everything. I was hoping to find a little bit more, get my foot in the door in some places. I was hoping that maybe Replicant Rebellion would be out, but still no sign of it yet. Or any word of Case File 3 for Blade Runner, which, but hopefully something will come up. With that in mind, I guess, was there anything else notable? One Ring won some awards this year also, won some Emmy awards, which happy to see that as well.
Yeah.
I don't want to dive into another system, but I think One Ring's pretty cool.
I mean, One Ring is just another spin-off of, as far as I know, their the usual what do they call it? The Year Zero engine. I believe it adapts Year Zero. So yeah, it's, if you know how to play Blade Runner, you know how to play, Alien, you know how to play all that, you'll probably know how to play One Ring pretty quickly.
So, I suppose with that being said, we got some exciting news coming up, though, for the show. We got some very exciting news coming up for the show. So next week, folks, we're going to have Miss Winterjay herself, art director from R Talsorian Games, coming in to... Oh, shoot, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to send my book with R Tal to get Winterjay's signature. Damn, that's what that was something I was supposed to do.
PAX, all right.
Yeah, we'll have to do it at PAX, and then I'll just wait till GenCon to get my book back.
Either that or they'll mail it back to you, one of the two.
Oh yeah, but like I guess just a quick debrief on some upcoming people we're going to have on the show, just to kind of get you caught up. Unfortunately, Mike and Lisa, it is just kind of a no-go due to the fact that they are very busy people. So that maybe it might happen, but it probably won't. But I would like to get the R Talsorian story on tape one way or another, but that's only if the opportunity arises and they are open to it.
Yeah.
That being said, we've got a whole slew of other people that we're looking to have come onto the show, though. Of course, Winterjay, that'll be happening next week. I figured a lot had been happening with Edrunner's Guide to Night City, especially because we're kind of wrapping up all the art there. But it sounds like she has time. She can come on the show next week. So get your questions together for her. And then, of course, James Hutt. I was looking to talk to him a little bit more about now Talsorian Presents instead of 5 by Infinity. Kind of see like where things are going there, because I got some interesting news on how James is going to be running the ship there, and I would love for him to come onto the show and talk about it. Of course, Cody Pondsmith, because Shadowscar Core is right around the corner. I would love to talk to him about his journey so far. Because, when was the last time we talked to him? Like, was it right before Eyes in the Darkness, or was it before the starter set?
I'm pretty sure it was Eyes in the Darkness, yeah.
So, I would love to catch up with Cody and, catch up with him on his massive journey coming up to, at some point here in the near future, a release. But yeah, those are the three ones that I could see off in the future here that we'll have coming in soon. Dolan Pondsmith, of course, we're gonna have her come on because I mean she does a lot over at Artal, but she's a fantastic artist. She handles a lot of the other business for Artal as well. But get Dolan's story. That's kind of part of what I'm hoping to do with this. hopefully we'll talk with Caleb and possibly have Sean Ireland as well from the Triangle Agency from Haunted Table to come talk to us about Triangle Agency and the wild journey that has been. Trying to think, who else do we have? Trying to fight the bureaucratic machine that is third-party PR. We are going to try to get the Stockholm Cartel guys to the show one way or another. I am trying. I might need to lean on Emmerron to see if he might have connections that I don't. So,
I mean, I don't really, but I mean, I can always try. Never hurts.
Yeah, I don't know if, because like most emails I send, I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, we'll get back to you. Thanks. And then probably at some point we'll have Jay Gray on when we get closer to Edgerunner's Guide to Night City. And David Ackerman, we're going to try to make this one work because I'd love to talk to Dave because he's done a lot of work on Cyberpunk 2020 and helping make Cyberpunk Red what it is today. He was part of the group that helped get everything up and going. That being said, Emmerron, anybody that you're hoping to get onto the show at all?
I'll be honest, my head has been a cloud of double exposure themed, just prepared for, like, preparation for Gen Con, and yeah, I mean, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to plan out stuff for this show, in my space. I know that I
guess that's why I've been trying to take that off your shoulders while you were working on Gen Con.
Yeah, well, and now we've got RinCon coming up. Like this fall is unironically going to be very busy for me for like a couple different reasons.
Hopefully RinCon won't be that busy though.
It won't, no, and it's not gonna. I'm not taking the same role at RinCon that I did for Gen Con, but knowing that is coming is going to make it so that like I need to prep for that. Shortly after RinCon, a friend of ours is getting married. So I'll be having to go to do that. And then not long after that, I'm going to go elk hunting. And then it's somewhere in there is my birthday. And not long after that, my cousin is getting married. And then not long after that is PAX U. When I said this fall is going to be really busy, that is what I meant by this fall is going to be really busy. So
I mean, I guess I'll continue to try to take a load off of you where I can.
Yeah, because in the midst of all of that, Neon Inferno 3 is coming. The group has been alerted. They got a document the other night that is sort of our final planning document.
Nice.
That's going to be orbiting in their space here. And yeah, so that is coming. Neon Inferno 3 is imminent. I mostly just need to kick this head cold to the side, and then I will be able to do the last couple of bits of production prep for that, and then that'll be coming in, and we will be doing that. It sounds like on Mondays, just like we always have. So it's gonna be a fun time.
Speaking of Mondays, by the way, we have another, I suppose, another personal announcements because we are starting to kind of get down to it. I do have a game that's starting to spin up on Monday nights. If anybody wants to hop in on there. What
time?
We're looking at 6 p.m. Arizona time right now. So it aligned with Pacific. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. Don't worry, door will be shut so that way you guys do your thing and you will not be disrupted during Neon Inferno.
No, I'm not worried about it. I just wanted to make sure that the hard time was told to everyone that's listening.
So yeah, I mean, we got that going partially so that way I could, pay off my medical debt and I can kind of, continue working on trying to get back up on my feet. Other than that, anything else that we need to cover?
No, I mean, as far as Gen Con goes, I guess in summary, Gen Con was a lot of fun. Death saves notwithstanding. Oh, so this is actually started. I don't even know if I got to tell you this one, Diamond. So the fun thing about Gen Con is you never know who you're going to run into, and this is a thing that applies both on the way to it and your way home after it. You never know who you're going to run into. So Phantom and I were on the same flight coming back to Arizona, and this flight was delayed, I think, 5 separate times. It was initially supposed to leave Indianapolis like 6:45, and it didn't end up leaving until almost 2 hours later. I think it was a little over 2 hours later. I think we boarded 8:45. We were in the air by like 1:15. So yeah, it was a bit of a mess. But being that was the way that it was going, we decided to make the best of it. James and those of you who are plugged into the R Tal server will know, one of our fellow admins over there goes by the handle Null. So James and Null were both in the airport at the same time. So we got lunch with them, and then Evan and I, Phantom and I, we just decided, we're like, okay, what are we doing? Where are we going? What are we, how are we gonna pass our time? Because once we left them, it was still like 3.5 hours, I think, until our flight was gonna go. So we decide to drop into a bar, because those of you who don't know it, Phantom, big whiskey guy, and when I'm with him, I usually am drinking it too. So the two of us sit down, order some whiskeys, and we're just chatting about the convention, chatting about games. And this woman who's sitting behind me says, hey, did you two both go to Gen Con? So we turn and we start talking with her. And turns out her shirt should have given it away almost immediately, but I didn't really notice this until she had introduced herself. She is one of the people working on Daggerheart. And so we met a Darrington Press employee. I believe her first name was Stephanie. Very kind, very, very, we had a very good conversation with her. I think we were talking with her for close to an hour and a half, about what we each do, what we're involved in. We traded business cards and LinkedIn contacts.
Damn.
Like we had a time, and because her flight coincidentally was not our flight, but it was similarly delayed. So we were all stuck in this bar, just waiting for our flights, and happened into this like 90-minute conversation that kind of covered everything from what we did at R Tal to Daggerheart to what they're doing next for the game. And actually, damn, I don't think it's over in my bedroom. I've got to go grab them if I want to show them. I'll put them up on Blue Sky. Give you all an excuse to follow me over there. But she gave us each a copy, and I have both of them because I was the only one with like a folder to keep them flat. So I'm gonna have Evan his back the next time I see him. But we got these new cards for a new mechanic that they're putting into Daggerheart in the near future that we don't know how to use them yet. But we know that these cards are very powerful abilities that are like a one-time use per campaign. Once they're burned, they're burned.
Oh.
It's very, very exciting, and Evan and I each got our own. They're 2 different cards. So they said they gave a bunch of them away at the announcement that Brennan Lee Mulligan was going to be running campaign 4 for Critical Role. So the night they did that, they gave everyone in attendance, I guess, some of these promos. And so Stephanie grabbed one for each of us out of her wallet. I was like, it was incredibly kind. But yeah, so that was my like really crazy last second, literally on the way home, meeting that I had, completely unplanned, completely unprompted, just had a random encounter with a stranger at an airport, and it was completely wild, to say the least. That we got to sit down and talk about all that. Daggerheart review coming soon, by the way, because I have enough information now and enough that I've like read up on to really give some like what I think are pretty developed thoughts on the system. Suffice it to say, I think this is my new favorite fantasy system, like pretty much bar none. Fabula is the only other one that gives it a run for its money, but this is like, Dragonbane is cool. Dragonbane is its own thing though. This is like, if you're looking for something to scratch the D&D itch every now and then, holy shit, this is so much better than any other D&D light that I have played in the time since kind of not playing that game. It's so good. So yeah, I have a lot of very good things to say about it, with some like very milquetoast criticism to throw at like some very minor elements, I would say, of that game overall. But the vast majority of it is incredibly good. It is very impressive. So I've got a lot of good things to say about it. I'm really excited to try it out. Or like, not try it out, but I'm really excited to talk about it, so more people try it out, because it's very, very fun.
Yeah, I mean, my flight home was, I'm happy that the journey is over.
Yeah, right. No, when we got back down on the ground over here, I was overjoyed to know that it was done. Traveling is fun. Traveling though, like, because like my wife and I spent the week leading into GenCon with my sister-in-law, our niece, and so yeah, sister, brother-in-law, and our niece, and that was a week that we did a lot during that week, and then I did a lot during GenCon, and it was only a matter of time before the head cold caught up with me. So yeah, once this is passed, I'll be back to full fighting energy, and I'll have a lot in the pipeline that I cannot wait to talk more about.
Oh yeah. So I suppose Triangle Agency, I don't know if that, I don't know, maybe that's something that, seeing how we both picked up a copy, we worked together on that one, but I'm excited to hear what you have to say about Daggerheart. I'm definitely going to be digging into Blades in the Dark and Thirsty Sword Lesbians and seeing what we got there. And then, of course, we'll definitely have to do a Monster Fight Club episode. It is a card game, though. I'm probably gonna get my ass handed to me, but
it's to be fair, it's a skirmish game. Skirmish games and card games are a little different.
Yeah,
they test different strategy. The cards are part of it, but it's not everything, and that's an important distinction.
Cyberpunk Legends, though, once we can get our hands on it,
that's a card game.
Oh boy. I'm probably gonna get my ass handed to me on a fucking platter.
Once I can get some of that, and if I can get my hands on what's the other one? The newer iteration of Netrunner that Nisei is doing now. That's the other one that I
can't wait to see that.
Really want to try that out. But yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. I'm honestly extremely like the lack of releases this year at GenCon was a little surprising, but honestly the future looks pretty bright, and it's now we just got to be patient, which the Cyberpunk community is notoriously bad at being patient. So if we can be patient though, there's a whole lot of good stuff coming just around the corner here. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Also, Bigfoot is real.
Bigfoot is real.
He will kill you.
He will kill you. Yeah, that's all we need to say about that. But I think with that said, Diamond, have you got any last minute business to discuss before we sign off for the week?
I don't think so. We're back in action. So yeah, you'll find us on StartPlaying. You'll find us over here, and you'll find us on YouTube. So yeah. Also, shout out to the bartenders over at the Hyatt. Thanks for remembering me from last year.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh,
All right, guys.
Do you have those book codes by chance?
I do. I'm thinking we're gonna cook on those just a little bit. I'd like to.
All right.
Yeah. But bottom line, guys, there may be a giveaway in the not too distant future for some free copies of the Cyberpunk Red Core rulebook for those of you who don't already have it. But we will discuss that in the near future. Yeah, we'll discuss that in the near future. That I think is going to do it for us this week, so that Diamond and I can both recover from our individual ailments here. So
I'm feeling good. I don't know about you.
You got meds to help you deal with the worst of yours. I am like coasting on cold medicine, which does not a ton. But yeah, it's all good. But yeah, everyone, thank you for joining us. As always, my name is Emmerron.
And I'm Diamond Dust.
And I hope all of you have a wonderful morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Stay healthy, stay safe, and until next week, peace, guys.
Bye.